You know, a Swiss Army knife is used for different jobs. Skills are exactly like that for Claude. Skills are pre built expert workflows you install directly into your Claude workspace. Each one trains Claude to handle specific tasks with professional grade depth. Instead of you explaining the whole process every single time, the skill already knows the steps and the edge cases and the right questions to ask. Here's the problem skills are solving. Without skills, every conversation starts from zero. Paste in context, explain your workflow, hope Claude guesses your formats. Skills eliminate that friction entirely. The skill for invoicing already knows your process. The skill for contract review already knows what red flags to look for. For solopreneurs and business owners, this is massive. You're not teaching Claude every time. You're pressing play on a workflow that's already been optimized. Okay, this is the most important thing in this entire video. Just type a /. A menu pops up showing every skill and plugin you've installed. Browse, search, or tap. Claude activates that skill immediately. You can also type a few letters after the slash line to filter it down, like /invoice to jump straight to your billing workflow, or /cash to pull up your cash flow snapshot. Skills are often bundled into packs, a collection of related skills that work together. Here are the most popular ones for business owners right now. First, the small business plugin. This is probably the most used skill pack out there. It covers everything: cash flow, customer complaints, payroll planning, invoice chasing, tax prep, and CRM maintenance. All from inside Claude. No switching apps. Close Month, a favorite for solo founders who handle their own books. It reconciles QuickBooks against payment processors, flags gaps, and writes a plain English P&L narrative. Then it exports to a closed packet, a spreadsheet, and a one-page PDF ready for your accountant. Installing a skill takes about 30 seconds. Head to the skills section in your Claude settings, browse the directory, hit install. Once installed, the skill shows up immediately when you type /. Some skills will ask you a couple of setup questions for the first time, like which tools to connect: QuickBooks, HubSpot, Stripe, whatever you use. Skill packs, like the small business plugin, include a built-in onboarding skill. Just run /SMB onboard, and it walks you through everything, connecting your tools, picking a starting point. The goal of skills is simple. Stop spending time telling Claude what to do. Instead, start spending time on the actual work. If you're in Claude Chat, click on Customize. It will bring you to your skills. So I have on the left-hand side skills and connectors. Your skills are just that, the listing of skills that you have installed. Your connectors are connections that you have to other apps. For example, if you're connected to your CRM, HubSpot. Now, I have first a listing of personal skills, but we want to see other skills. So I click on the plus button, browse skills. And in here is just the initial list of Anthropic and their partners' skills. All right. Next is the connectors. So you can connect to Canva, Figma, Microsoft 365, Notion, and hundreds of others. Plugins are a really interesting hybrid. They bundle up skills, and sometimes they also include connectors as well, right? Which makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you want to run a skill in relation to a specific app. There's a whole listing here. I've done a video about the small business pack. You can browse these at your leisure. One of the ones I wanted to take a look at is marketing. So I'm going to click on that. In here, it talks about creating content, planning campaigns, and marketing channels. That's something every business needs to do. So, what are the different skills? Brand review, campaign plan, competitive brief, content creation, email sequence, and SEO audit. So if I looked at, for example, content review, it tells me that this will allow me to draft marketing content across channels, blog post, social media, etc. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to install that, and away we go. Right? So it installs almost instantly. Now let's take a look at those options available as skills in that marketing plugin. So I've opened up a fresh chat in Claude. Now let's do our slash. And here we see the listing of the skills that I have installed. First off, I've got small business skills. And in here, as you hover over each one of the skills, it gives a description as to what it does. So for example, let's say we wanted to go to content strategy under small business. Okay. It analyzes sales data from PayPal and QuickBooks to find top performers and slow movers. Okay. And produces a 30-day content brief. So a content as to what you want to concentrate on selling. Okay. So that's an example of a powerful skill that's in the small business pack. Okay. I am going to go down to the marketing plugin. Now, one of the things that I could have done is instead of scrolling down, type in brand and it would filter down and I would get my brand review skill. So if you know the skill, you can just type it in. You used it before and then just hit go. Okay, again, let's take a look at some of the different marketing skills. Okay, so there's a brand review, campaign plan, competitive brief. So if you're researching competitors, gives you some options there, drafting content, and so on. So let's go into brand review. So I've given it my website and I have it working away. It goes out, fetches the website content, and then gives me a full objective rundown of what it thinks of my site. Let's see what it says. So Claude is giving me a report on my website, and one of the things that it does do is done actually a very thorough job. It went through, checked to see, oh, it found a comma splice here, so I can fix that. It found an inconsistent capitalization, which might be hard to figure out across pages. So it gives me some suggestions there. Um, there was an issue with some nav redundancy, so maybe I need to clean that up as well. Okay. It found, one or two other grammar errors, one that I actually put in there to see if it would find it. Um, and then it talks about hero headline and CTA. So there are lots of different things that it's kind of come back with. And this automation here is something that's really helpful to just scan your website and I've chosen another marketing skill called draft content. Now, I could choose from a whole different raft of different styles of content, but I wanted to focus in on blog posts that I could add to my existing AI augmented blog. So here we go. Right. So it says it has some context, what topics. Now it's asking me what topics for posts. I'm going to select a couple of different options here. And let's continue. Okay, let's go for the maximum here. And some of the tone that I like to have on AI Augmented is a little bit more conversational and peer level. Um, so I like to mix it up. Sometimes it focuses on methodology, and other times it focuses in on the real fact that yes, we're in this journey together. So let's make this conversational. So here we go. It's picking 4 topics, 3 posts each, and it goes in and it's generating those. Right. Now, if you look at this from a time saving point of view, again, uh, one of the things you use AI for is ideation. Okay. So instead of taking a long time to figure out what topics you want to address, we can use Claude to suggest some topics and even suggest some full blog posts. And then I can review those and get a sense for, is this a tone that I want? Is this a blog post important for today? Or maybe this is something that I might use later. Either way, what it does is it saves a great deal of your time. Okay, so let's take a look at our content results. It created a number of different posts for me. And what was amazing is Claude took a look at my website and said, hey, these particular posts would fit in the context of your blog. So I have 3 different post suggestions: AI strategy for business owners, getting started with AI automation, and finally, AI tools for marketing and sales. It gave me Word documents as well. And so I can take a look at those, and it opened up the first one here for me. Uh, as I take a look at the content here, it did a great job writing a blog post, and it knows my writing fairly well. Um, in here, it's funny. It mentions, use the approach of using AI as a co-writer and not a ghostwriter. Further on down, just want to point out this is some of the additional add-ons that are kind of built into the skill. Claude references what you need to do next for SEO and kind of in content planning. So if I go down to the bottom, it showed here. I'm just going to put this in here. Just some SEO notes. What's the primary keyword, secondary, and then a meta description for this particular blog. So if you're going in and providing those additional details, it's already there in these documents. So try out the content skill, and happy marketing. Get your copy of the AI Automation Handbook. Click the link in the description below.